Who is the most dominant athlete of all time? Michael Jordan, Mike Tyson, Messi? No, you fool. You couldn't be more wrong. What if I told you the correct answer is a 5'3" schizophrenic 16-year-old ginger? In today's video, I want to talk about the greatest and most intense match in sports history. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, the video you've all been waiting for. Seirin versus Rakuzan in the grand finals of the Winter Cup. But before hopping into this crazy game, let's introduce you all to our star-studded cast for today's video. First off, starting off strong, we have our team's shining light in Taiga Kagami. Next, acting as his shadow and right-hand man, Kuroko, the phantom player. Next up is our team's captain, the reliable three-point pillar in Hyuga Junpei. Fourth, we have the Iron Heart Kiyoshi Tepe. And then finally, we have Izuki with his Timu Metavision in the Eagle Eye. And then on the other side, hold on. If we're going to do this, we got to do it properly. In middle school, the greatest team of 5 players ever to be assembled were called the Generation of Miracles. These are 5 players so unbelievably powerful, any one of them could 1v5 most teams without breaking much sweat. Players so strong, they were forbidden to go all out since their middle school bodies couldn't handle their full power yet. First up, Kisei, the man who Reo wishes he was, a literal super prodigy who can instantly use his Sharingans to steal any move he sees perfectly. Aomine, the ace of the team, a man who was literally unstoppable with no real shooting form, allowing him to make any basket from any stance. Midorima, the green hair stands for green fuck nigga, the man with a straight up 100% accuracy at any single distance on the court. This guy giga-mogged Steph Curry as a middle schooler. Next is Marisaki Bara, the giant whose defense radius is nothing short of the entire 3-point radius. Huh? With him on their team, they regularly keep teams at 0 fucking points. But, ladies and gentlemen, even with all this insane power, one man must stand at the pinnacle of everyone. And that man is none other than Akashi Seijiro. All of the Generation of Miracles' power and gimmicks mean nothing in the face of his absolute strength. For as you see, he is absolute and has never known defeat. Now folks, let's see if Seirin and the boys can defy fate and pull off one of the greatest upsets in all of basketball history. Now for a little warm-up match before the finals in order to introduce you all to who Akashi really is and to really show you his dominance. We're going to go over the semi-final match between him and Midorima. We get to watch 2 of the Generation of Miracles clash. I never mentioned, but Akashi also has 3 uncrowned kings on his team. Basically, these are the players that would have been the best if the Generation of Miracles hadn't existed. And these guys are...
Stuff on my face with meat makes me stronger.
Sure, why not? I'll be the one to teach you about loss, Akashi. That's impossible for a mere mortal such as yourself to achieve. I'm gonna crush this arrogant midget. The game starts as Orange wins the jump off, throwing the ball to Midorima, who without wasting a single beat, hit a cross map 3, setting the tone early. Don't underestimate me, Akashi. I know you have yet to use your trump card. Well, at the rate this match is going, I doubt I'll even need it. Excuse me? As the second quarter starts, Rakuzan is double teaming Midorima. It's okay though, as they pass to this bum who passes to another bum who's able to dunk for them. But this blonde monkey isn't going to take it sitting down. As he gets the ball back, he starts dribbling, and every time the ball hits the ground, it creates fucking shockwaves. This noise is loud enough to cause people to hold their ears because of it. Like, what do you mean, bro? He hits it so hard and fast, people can't even react to his dribbling as he flies past them, hitting an insane double clutch to get past this guy and score. Bro, people can call Blue Lock as crazy as they want, but no one in Blue Lock is causing actual shockwaves every time they touch the ball. Yo, just thought I'd let you know your teammates suck ass. Say that again, queerbait. Your boys are dog water. Akashi eventually steals the ball from this bum and passes to the dribbler until the last second. Midorima comes in saving it. Don't you ever talk about my teammates like that. They're my pookie wookies. As he tears through Rakuzan, passing to his boy who flies in, dunking it. As we cut back to Midorima hitting another cross mapper, ending the second half once again, all tied up. Midorima's unstoppable. What do you think? Should we add another man on him? That would be unnecessary. Y'all don't have enough motion to stop a player of his caliber, so we'll reduce it to 1. I shall be the one to put him in the ground. And in between the halves, Seirin walks onto the court and runs into their future-to-be grand finalist opponents. Well, if it isn't combined net worth of 6 rupees. I'll have you know I have motion. Kagami Taiga, Let me offer you a word of warning. Only those in service of me are allowed to look me in the eye when speaking to me. So, lower your head. Pushes this monkey down to the floor with just one hand. He has so much aura, bro. I fucking can't. I remember people comparing Akashi to Sukuna in this scene from JJK Season 2, but like, what is Fraud Kuna gonna do when he gets dunked on? Exactly. Nothing but take it like a good boy. Next up, though, the second half starts, and just as he said, it's now a one-on-one. When the tension gets to its breaking point, Midorima jumps in the air, taking the shot. And for the first time, he activates his Emperor Eye, allowing him to literally see into the future. What do you mean? Knocking that shit straight out of Midorima's hands as he grabs the ball going down the court. You won't get past me. Oh, really? Well, no matter. You're gonna move for me. As he fucking breaks this guy's ankle, sending him to the Shadow Realm as he sinks the bucket for his team. Eventually, in the next play, they try to set a screen on Akashi, but, you know, he can pretty much see everything as he hits an insane snare on this bum, not giving Midorima a second to breathe. Eventually, though, he does get the ball, and as he tries to fake the pass and shoot, Akashi, you know, he can see the future, so he just doesn't even take that bait, absolutely cucking him and stealing the ball once again. Out of my way, extras. You think we'd actually do that? You're out of your mind. As he breaks both their ankles at once. You see, my orders are absolute. As he goes up for the shot, this bum jumps in trying to block him as he puts the ball behind his back into his teammate with a fucking elbow. That's absurd, dude. As his teammates take the pass for an easy goal. This guy starts mauling as he just fucking goes for a Hail Mary, which is, you know, easily blocked. Like, come on, Jit, you actually thought that was gonna work? The ball flies back into the hands of the Emperor as Midorima comes running in trying to block him, but even the Generation of Miracles fall flat in the eyes of the Emperor. As we cut to them losing by 20 with only a few minutes left in the fourth quarter, Midorima and Takao are literally on the floor, defeated, about to give up when their captain comes in bitch slapping him.
How long you planning to sit on your ass, you nerd? I'll break your nerd glasses.
On rewatch, this shit was the funniest thing ever. I don't remember him saying this because it was just so funny and random. I'll break your nerd glasses is like something a Disney bully would say. But with that, they're able to pull themselves back together as they lock in once and for all. The next play starts, and with their newly filled motivation, they bring out their untested trump card. With only seconds to spare on the shot clock, Midorima gets in shooting form, but he doesn't have the ball. Everyone's confused and bewildered as no one's ever seen anything like this before. And as he jumps into the air, Takao perfectly sends him the pass in mid-air as he grabs it at the peak of his jump, instantly sending that bitch flying in for a three. Insane on first watch, and now they just continue hitting green time after time again. How's that, Akashi? Taking me seriously now? You've exceeded my expectations, but I am absolute. Oh, nigga! But as he goes up for the layup, Midorima comes flying in somehow from the ground. And even with the surprise attack, Akashi is able to read it, passing to his teammate, who actually gets blocked from the dunk. They get the ball and instantly convert into another crazy three once again. Next play, Akashi gets the ball, and as he's being double teamed, he does this. He own goal? But why? When did I give you permission to let your guard down? If the game were closer, I doubt you'd ever disgrace yourselves like this. So fuck the point gap altogether. But that said, if we lose, you can blame me all you want. As penance for my crimes, I will gouge my eyes out and then offer them to you as payment. What did he say?
Excuse me, what the actual fuck?
What the fuck? You think Blue Lock player? Seriously? Nah, bro. This brother is ready to rip his own eyeballs out over a game of high school basketball. Have you ever played basketball with your life on the line, headass? This shit was pure insanity on first watch, and it really made you realize this brother not human. But with that motivational speech, his team finally got the dick out of their ass and finally decided to wake up and log back in. Now, back in form, they start to score once more. And then on the sidelines, Hugo's over here like, well, even if he can see the future, he can't stop Midorima's attacks.
Who decided that?
As Akashi dropped one of the craziest lines I've ever seen. Unfortunately for you, I've decided that for the remainder of this game, you will not touch the ball even once.
Oh my god, he's so goddamn cool!
Everyone on the court is literally shitting themselves out of fear, although Midorima is, you know, full coping, saying Akashi can't possibly stop his shot, even with the Emperor Eye. Sure, whatever helps you sleep at night, little bro. The next play starts as Takao gets past one guy, but is quickly blocked by 2 more. Although he goes kind of nuclear, spinning around these 2 bums as he breaks free, getting ready to pass to the already jumping Midorima. And, well, unfortunately for them, a 5'3" Ginger had other plans.
As I said, my eyes are absolute.
Yeah, I mean, Midorima, it's great to have confidence and all, but when Akashi says something like that, you may want to trust he's not just bluffing. As he takes the ball flying down the field, instantly converting another point. You actually thought that was going to work on me forever? I'm a little insulted that you think so little of me, Midorima. You did exceed my expectations and gave me some fun, so as a reward, I shall grant you a merciful, quick death. Ref? He's making death threats. Do something. And yeah, it's at this point, it's just over as they get touched unconsensually. But then what we saw next was just pure disrespect. I couldn't teach you defeat, but good game. Unfortunately, Shintaro, I must decline your handshake. I would never play nice with such a loser bum. God, I fucking hate you. But with that, ladies and gentlemen, now that the opening act is out of the way, we can finally move on to the main event in Rakuzan High versus Seirin High. Rakuzan has won the championship 3 years in a row, but can the plucky underdogs in Seirin pull off the greatest upset in history? Well, I guess we'll just have to find out together. The Rakuzan players are conversing while Fruitcake's over here talking about how he'll take good care of Junpei. Honestly, I'm surprised you made it this far, Kuroko. Akashi, we're gonna fuck you up. Oh ho ho, seems you have a little spunk in you. But let's see if you can actually back it up. Hey Kuroko, we got something for you. It has a little of all of us in it. What is it? It's a lucky goon sock. Oh, cool, thanks. But with that, ladies and gentlemen, no more waiting around as our star-studded cast gets on the court one last time. Play starts as Kagami wins tip-off as Kuroko wastes no time sending a nuclear pass on the field, but, you know, unfortunately, only Kagami can catch such bombs and Hyuga drops it. Like, come on, Kuroko, lock in already, dog. They steal the ball, but luckily for us, Daddy Kagami is here to bail out this team, blocking this guy's layup, still keeping them at 0. He gets the ball and decides we're opening this match with a bang as he fucking takes off from the free throw line, hitting a meteor jam in, slapping everyone with his dick. As it turns out, he's in the zone. Now, I don't think I've mentioned it before, but the zone in this show is basically like the original Super Saiyan form. It consumes a lot of energy, but it makes you like 50 times fucking stronger. Better yet, even though it's a mental state, characters in the show can instantly tell the exact second you enter or leave the zone, which makes a lot of sense. But we cut back to the next play, and once again, he goes for it as this bum jumps up trying to block it. Like, bro, you ain't got nearly enough motion to step it to my boy Kagami. Although, Kagami is carrying the team on offense and defense, so in order to save his stamina, they're swapping Mitobe for Kuroko, so Kagami can only focus on offense. Kuroko's depressed, but like, it's okay. You'll get your time to shine, little bro. The game is progressing as Seirin's actually kind of washing them 11-2. Akashi's like, alright, I don't know why I let such a bum defend Kagami. For the next play, I'll be his mark. Kagami gets the ball, and even using his Emperor Eye with only raw reaction speeds, Kagami barely makes it past him. Bro goes for the shot and... Oh, you ignorant fool. You really think you surpassed the Emperor Eye? I let you get past me. No way, bro. This guy Giga 4000 IQ planned to let him pass since he'd be slightly out of range of his normal shot, knowing he'd miss. What a monster. Akashi grabs the ball flying down the court as Seirin's coach is like, Kagami already beat Kisei's Emperor Eye last match. Because, you know, I didn't mention it, but they versed Kisei in the semifinals before this game, and Kisei copied Akashi's Eye. Now, unfortunately for them...
That was a crude imitation. How dare you compare it to the original?
So tough, bro. And then obviously Akashi rolls through his team, passing to these shitters who get the shot. Goat Mitobe comes flying and actually stopping it last second. This guy stopping Akashi's attack was not on my bingo card, but fuck it, man. Kagami's panicking and thinking to himself on what he can actually do, and Mitobe comes up behind him like, monkey, calm down. You're scaring the hose. He's like, you're right. As he leaves the zone, calming down. But now, with that, they sub back in Kuroko. And it's at this point, I realized I actually haven't explained to you how his abilities work. So I'm assuming most of you will watch the show, but if you haven't, he's basically so absolutely dog shit. No one can even register him, much less see him. I mean, just look at him. He looks like a ball of estrogen. Now, how, you may ask, is this useful? Well, it's because he's such a non-threat, he uses misdirection to help give these insane giga passes to his teammate. Out of everyone in this show, his power makes the least amount of sense. Like, it makes no sense that you're just so bad that the defenders keep losing you because you're literally invisible in their eyes. But whatever, fuck it. But the reason I mention this is that over the tournament, Kuroko has actually developed some weapons of his own, like the Vanishing Drive, the Phantom Shot. Now, sadly, this was actually causing an issue he and the audience were unaware of at the time, that we will be seeing shortly. But, going back to it, Kagami gets the ball against this monkey and flies past him, releasing the ball for Kuroko, who hits a crazy pass to Hyuga. Unfortunately, he somehow misses? Wait, what? Turns out Kagami actually touched the ball, barely sending it off course. Akashi grabs the ball, barreling down the court, passing to this yellow bum who makes an easy layup. Kuroko's over here lost in thought though, confused on how Hyuga got blocked, and he's overcome with an uneasy feeling. And it's weird because his mark won't give him space, and his next pass is insta-block, and then Akashi drops this line. I'm getting tired of watching this. What on earth made you abandon your greatest strength, the Vanishing Drive, the Phantom Shot? How can a player with such moves not stand out? While Kuroko is tweaking, the next play starts as Akashi literally insta-steals the ball from Izuki. I've been far too gentle with you, so lube up and prepare. As we cut to them subbing out Kuroko, he's depressed, but then they sub him back in? Huh? And we find out the coach's mega mind, galaxy brain level plan. They plan to throw him back out there and let him get pegged and fisted in order for everyone to go back thinking he's useless monkey shit in order for his power to come back. I mean, if it works, it works. The play starts and instantly Kuroko gets no-dipped. It goes back and forth until eventually the ball goes to Hyuga, who does a signature backstep into a 3 in order to end the first quarter. Kagami tries to cheer up Kuroko on the bench, but doesn't exactly choose his words right, basically saying, don't worry, man, we were fine in the first quarter, even though you're more useless than a condom with a hole in it. I mean, his intentions were good at least. Now entering the second quarter, if you've been paying attention, Rakuzuna has a 5th player I have yet to really mention, and there's reason for that. Namely, he hasn't done anything. Aomane's in the stand curious about this guy, and we find out he's below average in everything, and he wasn't even on the team until Akashi joined. Sounds fairly familiar, doesn't it? As the next play starts, we see they also have a Kuroko in the shitter, except this guy's fundamentals are better, so he's actually the upgraded model, according to Akashi. Next play starts, and as the ball goes to him, he's blocked, so he can't pass. But since he's a better Kuroko, he can just shoot instead. As he makes the shot, he runs by the bench, and Kuroko's like, hey, monkey, you're stealing my flow.
I'm coming for your ass.
Cutting to Seirin, making another sub, but this time they're sending in one of the Nuggets to guard Akashi. I don't know what this plan is exactly, but it kind of just reminds me of baiting my shit teammates in CSGO. So maybe they have some kind of plan with this. And as the play starts, they actually kind of do what I say. They bait the shitter. So Kagami can actually put some work in. It's cheating. Oh, it failed. It's okay though, because the Nugget actually scores the next point, getting his get back. All because this idiot thought he wasn't a threat and ignores him. And this is extra dumb because, bro, this is literally what they train you for. How do you not blatantly see through that kind of dumb logic? Holy fuck, this guy is obviously not a scholar with IQ like this. Next play starts and, you know, the Nugget gets ankle break, immediately letting Akashi score one back when a timeout is called. This is so goofy, bro. The nervous first year comes back to the bench and is completely exhausted and dead. Apparently, just facing up against someone like Akashi, even if only for 30 seconds, is too much for mere mortals to handle, as he runs out of strength and stamina falling over. Beyond goofy, but you know, sure, it's this show. That's what it's built off after all. And with that, the second Nugget on the team steps up to take the previous Nugget's place. And now both teams have opted for a 3-point shootout, as both of them start going band for band, each of them making 3 after 3, until eventually Fruitcake whips out his ultimate move, a type of shot that doesn't allow his opponents to jump. Somehow. He uses, I don't know, voodoo spell or something? Eventually going for one final shot where he sinks the 3 while hitting Hyuga, getting a free throw, making it a 4-point play. Eventually, the ball goes to Kiyoshi, who says,
Let's go, Nip!
"Whoa, Kiyoshi." I'm sorry, guys. He was raised in a different time. But regardless of such foul language from Kiyoshi, The two lock in for a clash of muscle for the first time this match. They keep going, but it seems he has the upper hand as he's winning the clash over and over until eventually he gives up, passing to shitter number 2, who makes the easy shot. And it's looking so good over as they are getting all their holes resized until eventually the last play of the quarter, Akashi decides to show off as he dunks the ball. Huh? This 5'3" midget can actually dunk? Did you think dunking was a shot exclusive to tall people? I can do this at any time I please. Once more, Akashi can't go a single frame without aura farming. The third quarter starts as they are actually locked in, creating screens so Hyuga can take a 3. And their motivations are still high. Unfortunately, Akashi's style is grinding them down until they have no mental strength left. The next play starts as Hyuga fouls another 3, causing another 4-point play. No! And he starts molding, and he's screeching to the ref, who gives him a technical foul, putting him all the way up to 4, meaning he's now going to be subbed out of the game. And if he gets one more foul, he's gone for good. Akashi keeps breaking them down. He uses his Emperor Eye to steal the ball from Kagami, as now it seems like all hope for Seirin seems to be killed off. So their coach decides to call a timeout to discuss what they can actually do in order to keep a fighting chance. Their entire bench starts falling apart as, you know, they don't have any hope left until Kuroko stands up with tears in his eyes, begging his team to win. I don't care if it's impossible. Let's win this. As with their newfound motivation, Kuroko makes a screen for one of the Nuggets, who scores another point back. And then, with another play, they bait the shitter to shoot as Kagami comes flying in, slapping that bitch out of the sky. As they make another layup, closing the gap a tad more. Then, the Shadow gets the ball for another attempt as they seemingly let him score. They realize they can't stop Rakuzan's attack, so they may as well force their worst player to take the shot every time. Pretty ingenious, but Kuroko has another plan up his sleeve we will soon see. As the new Kuroko keeps making shots, molding that they're underestimating him, until eventually Kuroko steps in, finally losing his mark, stealing the ball once again, as Kagami dunks that shit in. Timu Kuroko finally realizes that the reason Kuroko kept taking him on 1-on-1 was to let him shit on him in order for him to shine brighter than before, letting his phantom power die out, giving room for Kuroko's powers to return. I mean, truthfully, it's all gobbledygook, as this realistically makes 0 sense. Like, all you have to do is stare at one person and don't magically forget they exist. But fuck it, we ball. Everyone in the show is a moron. But while everyone's celebrating, Akashi reminds them who they're facing once more as he steals the ball, when to everyone's surprise, Kagami is back in the zone, ready to eat ass. He backs off as, given the space, Akashi realizes even if he shoots the 3, somehow Kagami will react in time and block it. Sadly, he still passes to Timu Kuroko, who passes to the big guy who makes the shot. Eventually, he gets the ball again, knowing Kuroko's plan is to overwrite him. He can't take the shot, but Kuroko, I guess, was such a non-threat to him, he instinctively dribbles past him, taking another shot, making his shadow powers drop even more. Oh my god. Kuroko, with his strength returning, passes to Kiyoshi, who dunks on this bum, closing the gap even further. To fall for such an obvious trap that was laid in front of you. What a walking chromosome party. Fuck all of you. You know, whatever, man. Sub me out. I don't even care anymore. You're done when I say you're done. With the next play, he uses his misdirection to cause Kagami to look away for half a second, and in that interval, Akashi uses that slight window of distraction to pass to his teammate, who sinks a quick 3. And then to keep it going, Muscle Man throws it back on Kiyoshi, pushing him all the way back to the net until he can hit a quick point. And Timo Kuroko is out here being depressed, knowing he's been used like some sort of cum dumpster. Used and abused. Fuck him though. I certainly don't care. As Kuroko puts an end to their streak, launching the ball cross map as Seirin secures another point. Then we cut to Izuki and this guy facing off, and bro says,
"A camel once told me, when compared to Akashi, you're barely a hump in the road."
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Bro, what is this guy even yapping about? That was the most random thing I've ever heard. Even this guy's laughing because of how corny that shit was. Eventually, using his full power, he dribbles past Izuki, even dodging the Eagle Spear, going around Kiyoshi and securing the point. Once again, the next play comes and the same thing happens, except this time he was watching, trying to find a way to stop it. And on his third attack, he barely passes him once more, but this time Kuroko was waiting, ready to steal it. Somehow, even still, reacts fast enough to spin around Kuroko as Izuki lined this up for his Eagle Spear to take the ball. Even with this whole three-pronged defense, the cheating yellow monkey somehow gets ready for the shot, but Kagami comes flying in, finally knocking the ball out of his hands, eventually letting our team convert another point. Yeah, bro, you're way better than me. Unfortunately, using my eyes is not too hard to stop you. Thankfully, you don't outclass me in wit. As Izuki is full rage baiting this guy at this point, and he's tilting as he passes to the Giga Bump, forgetting Kuroko's there, as he steals it, letting Kagami get another point. Cut into Akashi. He's not happy with the squad's performance. He gets the ball, quickly converting a 3 right in Kagami's face, shit talking him the whole time. And we cut back to Gay Guy with the ball, fighting our team's Giga Nugget, and they realize he has wild animal instincts like Kagami, Kotaro, and Aomine. Unfortunately, he's like a baby house cat. But don't underestimate house cats, bro. Because if you do, they can go nuclear. And just as I say, he underestimates the house cat as he lunges at him, just barely making him mess up his form, actually causing him to miss. The game keeps going until this guy tries to rage bait Kiyoshi, which almost works until Giga Chad house cat comes in, calming him down. The 3-point guy again uses his ultimate move, Void, which leaves his opponent stuck in the ground like he did Hyuga. But somehow, house cat can actually break the voodoo curse and jumps to no avail. But all hope is not lost, because watching that play gave Hyuga the knowledge needed to go in there and actually beat Void. But with that, folks, we have reached our crescendo, entering the 4th quarter. And with the new life in Hyuga's eyes, we are right back to where we were earlier. Hyuga versus Fruitcake. This is the same man who pushed Hyuga off the court, giving him 4 fouls. So what will happen now? He goes for the shot, baiting him in as Hyuga seemingly jumps. But it's a trap. He's about to get his 5th final foul.
Oh. He's not jumping.
My goat reads the fake, reading him like a book. He panics going for the shot as Junpei reads it, sending it off course. Goat Yoshi jumps in for the rebound, being the goated center he is, passing to Kagami, who dunks that bitch in without a second to spare. Fruity Patootie gets the ball back and says, fuck it, we are going for the voodoo magic shot in Void. Turns out, the secret why people can't jump is he squats so low that when defenders also squat low, they waste all their strength on the movement and have nothing left to jump with. Sure, I guess. After figuring it out, he surpasses his limits, completely blocking the shot, getting the ball to Izuki, who passes to Kuroko, who deflects it to Kiyoshi, who passes to Hyuga, who sinks a 3. Even Mr. Green was glazing the shot. That's how you know it was a really good shot, although it feels slightly off because the last few plays, Akashi's been awfully silent. Why won't he attack himself? And then we figure out Giga Chad Kagami's aura is so intense that even Akashi is powerless against it. Until we get a flashback. And it's a flashback involving Akashi thinking about the zone. I mean, it's at that point, you know, you already know it's coming, but it's gonna be bad. And while he's thinking about the zone, Fruitcake, Meathead, and 11 chromosomes walk in the room. Akashi's like, glad y'all are here. I need an opponent. Oh, bet. Some 2-on-2? That won't be necessary. Let's do 3-on-1. What do you mean 3-on-1? Theoretically, it's impossible to win since they can space out so far and just pass to guarantee points. There's no way he could win. When it comes to entering the zone at will, one must have a trigger for it. Kagami's is wanting to win for his friends. So, what is Akashi's? Allow me to give you a fair warning regarding my trigger. As we cut back to the match, the pressure being exerted by Seirin is so much, they can't even do anything as they lose the ball to Kuroko, who passes to Kiyoshi, who uses Kagami as bait to spin around, dunking that shit in himself. The next play, Akashi's just standing in the back as he sends his monkeys to fight for him. Regarding my trigger, it's when I feel I must win using my strength alone. In other words, the moment I lose all faith in you. Kagami steals the ball once again, flying in the court like a freight train, trying to dunk on Akashi until he grabs it without moving. What? It appears you need a demonstration of my superiority. And we see for the first time this fucking monster enters the zone. Oh no! He grabs the ball, going insane, passing everyone, negative diffing them. You've made the mistake of defying me. Kneel before me. As these guys fucking fall to the floor on their knees, it's as if he said, now suck. And they just got on their knees and ready to oblige as he spins around these monkeys, making it in easily.
Witness my sublime form and realize this game will end in one way. Your defeat.
Oh my god, he's so goddamn cool!
This fucking guy, bro. I can't. Throw this guy in blue lock, and he's like top 3 in the verse and no diff. We cut back to Akashi on defense, as just opening his eyes creates a shockwave everyone can feel. He's literally who Aizen wishes he was, with spiritual pressure. And without wasting a second, he teleports to the ball, stealing it once again. Kagami tries stealing it, but falls over 2 separate times. Ref, do something. I'm operating on an entirely higher dimension than you Timu Aomine wannabe. And Akashi just keeps touching them as Kagami's freaking out until Kuroko comes over to lock him back in shape. He says, give up on trying to fight alone. I mean, this is a team game after all. This shit is so funny though. Kagami's like, I can handle it myself. And Kuroko's just looking at him like, come on, Jet. There's no need to cope. We all know you cannot handle him by yourself. They pass around Akashi's range, eventually getting it to Kyoshi. But nah, bro. That weak shit is never gonna work. Akashi gets the ball where it's finally a 2v1. He gets past Kagami and then... Kuroko? Huh? How did he read it and react so fast? Turns out he was only looking at Kagami and went the opposite direction. A move he can only use on his allies. Kuroko's own pseudo-Emperor Eye. As he actually... somehow steals it from Zone Akashi. No one, including me, can believe it as they run through everyone like warm butter. He runs back, not believing he allowed a turnover as he tries blocking Kagami, but Kuroko runs past, taking the ball from Kagami, throwing that bitch straight up for Kagami to dunk, as Kagami ascends to a higher plane of power, dunking on Akashi. And for the first time ever in his life, as they are looking down on him, Akashi's facing true defeat. And let's just say he couldn't really handle it. As someone who's never lost in his entire life, he doesn't really know how to deal with this new emotion, as Rakuzan is just getting worked. They literally have to call a timeout because Akashi is throwing and he's just a shell of himself at this point. And as they're about to sub out Akashi, Mizumi stands up. You're fucking pathetic. You're not the man I met on the roof that day. In fact, who even are you? As we get a flashback to Akashi's childhood, he grew up in a super prestigious wealthy family with the expectations of being the best at everything. As we find out his mother actually just cared about him and showed him basketball. But with his mother being the only thing tying him down to earth, it made it all the more difficult when she passed unexpectedly. Even when she died, his family didn't allow him to stop or slow down, never being allowed to fail, no matter what. And at that point, he was already beginning to tear. And once being on the middle school team with the Generation of Miracles, as they got stronger, the fear of not being able to keep up crept up in his mind, until that fateful day came, when Murasaki Bara challenged him to a one-on-one, believing he could overthrow him. First to 5, and he was up 4-0. Akashi, for the first time ever, was going to lose. And that was the final nail that caused them to split in 2. At this point, we didn't even know who he was anymore, as he talks to his schizo demons in his head. Eventually, though, he finally makes peace with his choices up to this point, and eventually, for the first time, the real Akashi Seijiro comes out to play. How dare you ask who I am? Isn't it obvious? I'm Seijiro Akashi. As we see Akashi apologizing to his team for throwing their elo, as none of them can really even believe he of all people is apologizing. The next play starts as the aura around him is different. He shits on Kagami and dodges Kuroko's pseudo-Emperor Eye, passing to Fruitcake who sinks to 3. But something about him is different. He looks happier, like a burden has finally been released from his soul. And this is when everyone realizes Akashi's back to his true, complete form, which makes him almost certainly stronger than he was before. As we see another play of Akashi sending a beautiful shot to Hayama, who gets an easy shot off. But as they keep going, we realize Akashi's perfect passes and perfect tempo raises his other teammates up to play at a higher level, as he actually has the power to bring all 4 of his teammates in a pseudo zone power-up. And with all of them powered up, it's looking too much for them to handle as they score another point. And even worse than that, Kagami's reached the end of his stamina. And it's not just him. Everyone's approaching their limit. And when it's looking cooked, Kuroko's friends shout words of encouragement from the bleachers. And it's not just him. Aomine, Kisei, and even Midorima all send their hopes until eventually the crowd joins in, basically being a spirit bomb to hype them back up. Until finally the game starts up once more, as everyone can sense an intense aura from all the players on Seirin. But it's weird because it seems as if all of them are working in sync like one perfectly oiled machine. As we see, Seirin finally opened the zone within the zone. The secret, you may ask? The power of friendship and teamwork. Fuck it, I don't even care anymore. Just beat them already, Seirin. As they enter, get God mode with all of them perfectly synced up within the true zone. Kagami hits some of the most insane moves, passing to Kuroko, who slaps it around Akashi, passing him in the zone as he literally runs towards these two, giving it to Kiyoshi, hitting a spin move without wasting a beat, who throws it in the air for Kagami to hit an insane dunk. God damn, that shit is so tough, bro. No matter what Rakuzan tries, Seirin are just monsters stopping everything. But even with the power of God on their side, Akashi is still absolute. The next player starts, and with little to no time left, they aren't letting up until Kuroko finds this tiny gap to pass to Kagami, who, even being double teamed, gets the ball and without wasting a second, flings that bitch in the air for the 3. Still though, they're down 4 points with only 20 seconds to go. It's over. Rakuzan just has to hold the ball. Although, while everyone's going crazy, it looks like Izuki's controller DCs or something, as he's just standing there AFK. But no, he's going deeper into Ultra Instinct, letting his body move on his own as he channels the power of Lord Goku himself, borrowing some of UI, deflecting a pass with only 10 seconds left, stealing the ball and passing to Hugo with only 5 seconds on the clock. Scoring will not be enough. You're down by 4, so there's only one thing left to do. Jumping into your opponent, making the 3 for the 4-point play, and he makes it! Oh my god. But now with all on the line, we are not going for the tie. We are taking the gamble for the win instead. And knowing it's the final play of the game, the Iron Heart flexes every muscle in his body, overpowering Nebuya, getting the rebound. While everyone's confused on what will happen next, Kuroko disappears once more, getting the ball, and with 2 seconds left, he gets ready to shoot for the first time as Akashi jumps in front of him. Did you forget, Akashi? I am a shadow. As he launches this bitch up in the sky for our ace Kagami to score the final dunk of the game, giving our boys the win, 105 to 106. And while they are celebrating for the first time ever, Akashi truly tastes defeat, as he just accepts it on the chin, putting his hand out for Kuroko, showing a sign of respect. And just like that, ladies and gentlemen, that is the story of how Seirin High pulled off one of the greatest upsets in basketball history. You will subscribe, because I am absolute and I'm never wrong.